Right, we're back with another review. Today is going to be the Yolopark Scourge. I know I kind of like butcher's names, just my accent, fuck off. But honestly, I think this is genuinely probably the best Scourge figure we have at all. I think there's probably not many that even compare to this figure at all. The only problem is that there's obviously the height difference between the studio series and stuff if you're a studio series collector like myself. But like obviously it doesn't really matter too much because he is kind of a lot bigger than a lot of them in the film anyway, so it's not really like bothering me or anything. But this is miles better than the studio series figure. I know he can transform because it's a model kit and not a figure, but I don't really matter. I don't really care about that, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna get straight into the head sculpt. Right, so here's the head sculpt. Obviously there is different versions to this head sculpt because you do have this version and then the unmasked version. I'm gonna show them both, but there is nice detailing in the mask. You can see the little kind of like detailing there, all outer stuff. You see nice silver paint as well, and obviously the sculpting of the mask is really good, a lot better compared to the studio series one. Obviously the studio series had the problem of it was only based on art and not the actual film, but that's not really their fault. They couldn't really do anything about it. But honestly, this is probably one of the best head sculpts on a Yolopark figure, I think. And we're gonna just pop his mask off, if I can get that off without taking the face off. There we go. And this is what his other face looks like. Nice battle damage and stuff. Obviously there is another little faceplate that's literally the exact same as this, just without this little tab. So you can obviously display this without the little tab part. Obviously, I'm probably not going to switch them out because it's literally the exact same head, just without the tab, and it's just like a kind of flat surface. But honestly, I wouldn't even mind displaying it in this if I had another one. I probably will display it with the mask though, as I have normally. So now we're going to get to the other detailing. You do see his chest has very nice detailing, a lot of detailing actually. There's a lot of mechanical detail all here, and there's also a good bit of metal, like kind of silver paint along the chest, and there's also the guard stuff for the front of the truck on his titties, and the little red lights and stuff. And you come down to the arms and the body. You can see also the little symbols of his oh fuck. But yeah, you can see like the Autobot symbols and the Decepticon symbols and stuff for the victims he's killed in the film, as he says in the film. Well, I hope he fucking said that. A lot of silver paint down the torso area. You two would see like his bulge as well, is fucking silver. And then he also has these little kind of things that make the body look a bit more not too straight. Come down to the hands. The hands are very sharp. I don't know why they're so fucking sharp. They're just sharp. And then the legs, obviously, a lot more silver paint down here, a lot more mechanical detail, the wheels up here. And then the other hand has the little claw that's obviously movable, but I'll get to the articulation later as well. Nice little detailing. And he does also come with a gun, I think. He comes with like that cannon hand that is in my wardrobe somewhere. I'll see if I can get a picture up here. If I can't get a picture, then I'll just put a random picture of some random fucking shit. Right, we're gonna get to the articulation now. I know this figure's kind of very close to the camera. I'm on like I can't really like get him to stand on the table where like you can see all of his figure, but he does have a ball joint at the head and the neck, so his neck can move all the way around, and then his head can also move up, down, left, and right. He does have the chest rotation very slightly though. But you can end up turning it a good bit. And he does have rotation at the arm that can go up like that. And then his shoulder panels move. And he does have bicep rotation as well. And he can also do a 360 no scope. He has a bend at the elbow, which is a nice bend. It's a very extendable bend. And then he does have individual fingers that you can move in this hand. The cannon's just kind of just a gun. You can't really like move it or anything. Then we get to the torso. He does have like a little waist swivel down here, which is nice. And for this finger, he does have individual fingers that he can move. So all of his fingers can move. So that means you can stick up the middle finger with him. And then he also has movement at the leg. which I need to pull this back up like that. And then he has a bend at the knee, not really a good bend. Oh, there we go. Kind of more extended bend there, right there. And then he also has a swivel at the foot. I think this figure is probably the best Scourge figure we have. There's not many figures that can even compare to this figure. I think there's more than likely gonna be a figure later on in the later stage, maybe an NPM that's gonna come out that's gonna be better than this because it can transform, but you never know until it comes out anyway. But for now, this is the best figure we have of this character anyway. So out of 10, maybe like an 8 or a 9 maybe. There's obviously like the spiky fingers, and then the obviously that's really the only annoying thing, because you can't really pose them too much with the fingers because it just kind of like irritates you or something. Like the fingers are kind of just whenever I'm doing stop motion, like I've been trying to do stop motion with this figure, and the fingers, every time I try like move them, they just stab me right in the fingers. I don't know why as well. So that's this video done, and let me know what you want to see next, because I'm currently working on the final episode for my series, so that's probably why I'm not really making too much videos. I'm kind of just focusing on that to get it out by, I don't know, probably maybe February, March maybe. I won't be getting it done this month anyway. But yeah, that's this video finished.